Hello people! Today I have something so exciting planned for you, and I'm very excited that this is working out the way I want it to be. But today is actually going to be a little collaboration with Carly. She was my flatmate on my Disney CRP. We started on the same day, we went there together, and yeah, I'm just gonna let her introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Carly. I'm from Mexico and I did the Cultural Representative Program with Laura last year.
And if any of you guys speak Spanish or you want to practice your Spanish, go and subscribe to Carly because she has a lovely YouTube channel that... Yeah, isn't this exciting? We want to talk about things we do differently on a second program. I thought it would be boring if you only got one opinion, so I thought I'd invite Carly and she could help me and tell me things she'd do differently. So I'm just gonna start with my first thing, and that's actually gonna be that you shouldn't go under 21. Hear me out, it's not because I want to drink, it's because you cannot go into a hotel if you're under 21, not by yourself. I had this problem at the very beginning. I had booked a hotel and then realized that I wouldn't be able to check into the hotel because I was under 21. I had to cancel my hotel and then check into an Airbnb. And then also you can't rent a car. I'd really like to rent a car maybe once or twice to drive somewhere and just be a little bit more flexible, but you can't do that if you're under 21. It's, first of all, most of the time it's impossible, and even if it's not impossible, it's expensive. It's so expensive. Like what people pay in a week if they're over 21 or even over 25, you pay in a day. Yeah, it's just very expensive, so my number one tip would be, if you can avoid it, or if you're over 21. Of course, you'll be able to drink a little bit, that's always fun. Drink responsibly, guys, but it's not just about that, it's... Oh my god. Okay, well, I hope that holds up. I've been having some problems with my ears falling off the wall, and also that one's empty because I'm wearing those right now, so don't judge me, but I think if they stay up, they look kind of cute. I really need some like fairy lights back here because I think this is gonna be like my new filming space if I'm gonna do any sit-down videos.
So one of the things I would definitely do differently is to change my address on the hub. The hub is the system in which every cast member is enrolled, in which you get to see your schedules and your payments and everything, but you have to be certain that you actually change your address, which is kind of tricky because apparently your permanent address should be your housing address, which it didn't make sense to me because I actually put my housing address as my temporary address and my permanent address the one here in Mexico, which caused a misunderstanding, and they sent my main gate, which is the pass you get to be able to go into all of the parks, and it got sent here to Mexico. So it took me a while to actually get my main gate to my Vistaway apartment, but yeah, that would be something that I would do differently.
Then the next thing is kind of about the first one too. I would buy a car first things first. I didn't buy a car last time because I didn't think I would need it. And then just before we got sent home, I was actually looking at buying a car for the last 6 months that were to come. And then in the end I didn't buy it because we got sent home because of Corona. I think a car would have been nice. It's obviously all the buses, they run to the parks, and it's not that bad to go to the parks with the bus, and it's also not that bad to go shopping with the bus, unless your first shopping trip escalates the way Carly and mine did. Yeah, we took an Uber. Our Uber driver was very, very nice. We had so many things. But yeah, I would buy a car as quickly as I can. It's just hard to get out of the Disney bubble. I had a Universal pass and I didn't go as often as I would have liked to. The only way to get to Universal from Vista Way is by taking an Uber, and it's $15 per route. So it's $30 in total, and if you go by yourself, that's $30 you're spending on that day, plus the ticket you bought, plus any food you're going to buy, plus any merch you're going to buy, and it just adds up. I would buy a car to go to Universal, to maybe go to Miami, to look at Orlando, get out of the Disney bubble, go to the mall, and that's something I regret too. It's not seeing more of Florida, not seeing more of the US, being just in Disney and not even being able to go to Universal as much as I would have liked to. Because when you pay $30 for your Uber, you don't really go for half a day. You want to do a full day of parks. You want to be there at 10 and leave at 8, be exhausted. You just want to get your money's worth of the $30 Uber drive. When I go again, not if, because I know I'm gonna go again, I would buy a car and go to Universal in the evenings. And if you have a lot of friends that have cars, or a lot of friends that go to Universal with you, then maybe you don't even need a car, but sometimes it's just nice to be by yourself, to go by yourself to the parks.
So this other thing I would do differently if I were to do the program again actually makes me really, really sad, because I had planned on doing it before I started my program and I never did, is getting a Universal pass. I know a lot of my friends did get one, Lara did get one, and even people who got after me did it. But if you're ever planning on going to Universal, get that pass. And it's gonna be even better if you get it from the start, because you're gonna get your money's worth. I think that even if you go like 3 or 4 times, you're gonna get that money's worth of the pass. So yeah, that's something that I would definitely recommend on doing it. I know a lot of people say that it's really, really good to get out of that Disney bubble, because it's definitely something that can happen. Like, you can get too much Disney if you're living and working there. So going to a theme park that is not the place that you work or where your friends work, or just a place that you go every week, it's really, really cool. I would definitely do it if I were to do the program again, but I didn't have enough time.
All of these, they kind of relate to each other, to be honest. But the next one is work less, play more. I would make sure to not work as many hours as I did last time. Most of my weeks I worked 6 days, which is insane, and it's way too much, and I didn't get to do what I wanted to do, because on my days off I also needed to go grocery shopping, I needed to do laundry. So I didn't get to go to the parks as often as I wanted to, and I didn't get to go to Universal as often as I wanted to, because I didn't have a car, but also because I only ever had 1 day off. They actually asked us how many hours we wanted to work, and I put my hours, they weren't that high. Yeah, I think 33 hours is what we had to do in a week. We legally had to work that many hours, and then the top thing would be like 40, I think. So I would put it as little as I could, because while it's nice to have the money, and I earned a lot of money, I can't deny that because I worked so many hours, it's also nice to get some days off and to play, because that's what you're there for in the end. Yeah, do my best to spend more time in the parks, to go more before work, to go more after work, to spend every living and breathing minute in Disney World or in Universal. You're gonna work a lot, that's just part of you're there to work, and I knew that going into it. I knew I was there to work at it, but I didn't know that I would work six days a week, practically every single week. And also, one more tip: if you can decide where you want your days off to be, put them during the week. Don't put them on a Saturday and Sunday, because those are not the days you want to go to the parks. Those are the days that are going to be packed full, the days that are going to be crazy, and those are not the days you want to go to the parks to relax, to enjoy yourself after you've had lots of busy days at work. So I'd rather work a very busy day and then play on a not so busy day than work on a not so busy day and play on a very, very busy day. You might have seen in some of my videos the parks were busy anyway, so I had Mondays and Tuesdays off. Yeah, that might change now with Corona actually. Obviously this is all tips for imagine if Corona never existed. Be sure to take time for yourself, and if you don't go to a park on a day off, don't feel bad about it. You need to slow down, you need to take a mental health day if you need that. So don't feel bad if you take a day off.
So another thing I would do differently is to make sure I'm actually wearing very, very comfortable shoes to traditions. I thought I was wearing comfortable shoes, but they weren't comfortable enough. I don't want to spoil anyone about what actually happens in traditions, but let me tell you, you're gonna be going to a place in which you're gonna do a lot of walking. So make sure you feel really, really comfortable in your outfit and in your shoes. Obviously, everything has to be inside of the Disney look guidelines, but still, just wear something cute, wear something comfortable, and yeah.
That I wouldn't wait until the end to take days off. So obviously I thought I had another 6 months until October. Put some days in that I wanted days off. So I put my birthday, for example, I wanted that off. Then I put some days in the summer because my parents were gonna come. I put some days around Easter because my parents were gonna come. I wanted to go to New York. Obviously, I really wanted to go to Disneyland. That was my #1 dream, and I never managed to do it. So I really regret not doing that, and when I'm gonna go again, the first things I'm gonna do are going to be taking those days off, or at least putting them in and booking flights and making sure that I am going to go to Disneyland, making sure that I'm gonna go to New York, and making sure that I'm gonna hit all of the other things on my list that I want to do. I had nearly booked my flight and then Corona came. I wanted to see New York so badly, and then I also wanted to go to Disneyland and see the original park, see the only park we'll actually walk through, see the magic, the nostalgia, and everything that makes Disneyland Anaheim what it is. Yeah, I'm very sad it didn't happen. I'm very sad, and obviously Carly got to go to Disneyland, so I think she did it better. She just took some days off and flew to Disneyland, spent some time there, had some fun, and I should have done that. And I know now that I would not wait again. I would put my days in as soon as I could. When I go again, Disneyland is my #1 priority. I want to spend some time there. I want to be there for like 4 or 5 days, I think, because I didn't take a single day off in the 6 months I was there. I did not go on holiday. I did not do anything. I just really want to go to Disneyland.
Okay, so another thing I would definitely do differently is to make sure that I'm packing the right clothing, because I arrived on early October, and the last time I went to Walt Disney World was for my 50th birthday during the summer. So I remember the weather being super hot, and I packed, like bathing suits and shorts, just like a pair of jeans, tank tops, not a sweater, just like a jacket, I think. And yeah, I got some of the warm weather during October, but as soon as November started, the weather got really cold. And I'm from Mexico City, so I'm not used to cold weathers, so it was definitely something that caught me off guard. I spent a lot of money on cold weather clothing, jackets, even jeans, because I remember that I basically packed only shorts. So yeah, and pajamas. I remember that the nights were super cold and I wasn't prepared. So definitely make sure that you check the weather before you pack, depending on your arrival date, but especially during the months of November, December, January, and even February, it's going to be very cold. So be prepared, and don't think that because you're gonna be on Orlando, it's not gonna be cold.
And now the last one. I want to make more of an effort to meet more international friends. Obviously, I worked with the Germans. I know a lot of Germans, and I still talk to some of them, and that's cool, that's great, but I can meet Germans back at home. And then obviously I know Carly, and I know some other people that lived in my apartment. I don't know people from the other pavilions. It's really hard getting the connections with people from other pavilions if you don't actively do something about it. So I remember that one time someone came up to me and she was like, "Hey, I want to be friends with you," and I was like, "Yeah, sure." We actually went out to high tea at the Grand Floridian, and it was so much fun, and that is something I should have done more. I should have went out, talked to people, made friends with other international cast members, made friends with people that I could still be friends with after the program ended. I would definitely next time make the effort, make international friends, meet more people, talk to more people, talk to as many people as I possibly can. If I have a cast member that was nice to me, try and talk to them again, try and find them again. Make friends with as many people as I possibly can. That is just my advice to you. Make as many friends as you can. You don't need a car. If you have tons of friends that are gonna go with you, that are gonna Uber with you everywhere, you don't need to be 21, because someone else can rent a car for you, someone else can check into a hotel with you. A lot of these problems solve themselves if you find really good friends, and the possibilities are there. You have the cafeteria, you can talk to so many people. You can go through the parks, talk to cast members, you can see where they're from, you can see their names. It's so easy to make connections. If there was one thing I could give to you guys if you do the CRP too, it's make friends. Actively make friends from other pavilions too. Actively make friends that are not just from your pavilion. Actively make friends that speak another language than you. Maybe you can learn Spanish or French or Norwegian or Chinese or Japanese or everything. The opportunities are literally endless. Literally. Disney World is huge. There's so many people working there, and you can make friends with all of them if you actively want to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was some fun for you. I hope Carly told you some good points too. Maybe some of you can use this. If you are gonna do the CRP, nothing is set in stone right now, and I know that, and I know it's hard, but I think it's important that we bring that Disney magic into our life, whether we are going to go soon, whether we are not going to go at any point, or whether you're just at home and you don't even want to do the CRP. Maybe you just want to go to the parks and play and you don't want to work at Disney. That's fine too. Yeah, whoever you are that's watching this video, I hope I could give you some tips. I think a few of these tips are relatable, or maybe a few of these tips are useful for you if you're not going to do the CRP and if you're not going to go to Disney World. Maybe you're going to go to another Disney park, or maybe you're just going to go on like an exchange and you want to meet other people. I think these tips are very universal and that they can help a lot of people, but then also they're just a lot of fun. They're just some Disney magic in your life. And again, go and subscribe to Carly if you speak Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, go and subscribe to her. Maybe learn some Spanish, or maybe just support another YouTuber. And subscribe to me too, please. If you want, of course. But if you enjoy this kind of content, like chill Disney style videos, which obviously I'm not gonna be at the parks anytime soon, but I have some things planned that could be fun, that are kind of Disney but not super Disney. Yeah, I hope this helped some of you, and if it did, please give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave a comment about what you think, which tip was the most useful for you. So for me, like I said, it's the make international friends, or make as many friends as you can. Carly had a lot of life lessons in her tips, so those are all based on mistakes she actually made. So don't make her mistakes, don't make my mistakes. If you want to be updated on everything I do, I post a lot on Instagram, a lot on my stories. I don't actually post on my feed a lot anymore, but I post a lot on my stories. Every time I have a new video idea, I'm like, hey guys, I have a new video idea, it's gonna come soon. So if you want some sneak peeks, go check out my Instagram. It's still very Disney themed. I like to think I'm very aesthetically pleasing on my stories, but that doesn't always happen. Also, I am going to go back into an upload schedule. Yay! I've never been on a real upload schedule, let's be honest about that. I tried, but I never was. But from now on, every Friday, I'm gonna upload a new video. I might take a Christmas break, we don't know that yet, but I'm gonna do my very best to upload a new video every Friday. I have written down a lot of video ideas. I've already planned out the next 3 or 4 weeks, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very exciting. Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit more cooking, a little bit more talking and sit down. Not as many vlogs, because obviously they're gonna be very boring right now, because all I do is sit at home and study. Have a magical day, and I'll see you next Friday. Bye bye!